everybody. Welcome to Friday. It's Friday, February 19th. We're here to talk about sports betting. We're going to learn about Microsoft Excel. We're going to learn about stats. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Let's have some fun. So, the inaugural day of the Ken's 94. Watched my $94 go down the tube faster than it would go down in Texas if you tried to flush it right now, because a lot of places don't have water, unfortunately. No, yeah, we lost a lot. We went 2-5. The funny thing about betting this way, when you have a bunch of teams on a round robin, is as soon as you start to lose, and then you lose another one, you start to root for all the other ones to lose too, because it doesn't matter anymore. Like if you go 0-7, it's like, oh my God, it's so funny. All right, well, like I said, I don't mind losing $94 in a day. It's not the end of the world. There will be a day tomorrow, and we'll learn something about the bad picks that we made today, because there's some reasons that we picked too many teams today, and also we picked some games that we just threw on here for no reason. Santa Clara at minus 295 loses. That's just pointless to have them on here. And Presbyterian was a bad team to begin with. So was Tennessee State, but they both had bad opponents, but they're still bad teams. So losing that is understandable. This line got worse, and the hockey games just lost the hockey. You just lost everything. It's funny. But let's talk about other results, because it wasn't a totally bad day for the algorithm, at least college basketball wise. It was bad for hockey, but it's been pretty good for college basketball so far today. 16-13 on the spread, 18-9. But you see some of these things that lose. A couple of these games are still going on right now. But yeah, I mean, Santa Clara loses up here. I didn't have any of this Murray State. That's a huge favorite losing, and Murray State losing to Eastern Illinois. That's pretty crazy. Bradley was predictable because they had half their team like suspended. Somebody commented in the video, so that makes a lot of sense. The Illinois State won that game. That game was kind of predictable. Houston loses away at Wichita State, but that's still out of our normal margin range. So that's kind of an interesting, what's going on. A lot of interesting things today. Presbyterian, of course, loses. They're a bad team, though. They're a -8 power team anyway, so I shouldn't have had them on my. They're not a Ken's 94 quality type pick, so we'll know that for going forward. Radford loses to Gardner Webb. San Francisco loses to Loyola Marymount. This doesn't make any sense. San Francisco's home, and Loyola had some people out. Doesn't make any sense there. And then some games down here losing and still in progress. So let's talk about tomorrow, college basketball wise, because I already have a little look at tomorrow in here. And we need to add margins for everybody in here. Let's do that. If we go back, we'll see that there are some teams to look at, and we can see if there's anything before this is finalized tomorrow. If you wanted to take a look at it today, just to get a heads up, that's what we're doing right now. So there's going to be an updated version tomorrow on Friday or later in the day, and you can get it on the email list if you want to subscribe. Follow the links. So what do we have? Do we have any underdogs, first of all? We have one barely. North Dakota away at Omaha. It doesn't even sound like a good pick. Although Omaha is hurting, at least down 84% in health. Once again, sad to see every single underdog. Every single favorite on this list except for North Dakota. It's pretty sad, honestly. I mean, algorithm and Vegas are just in step together in line. So we'll have to look. Is there any value? Even the color. Look at how the color is starting to go from red to green. I mean, this is. We think that Vegas is overestimating New Mexico State a little bit against Utah Valley. So we would take probably Utah Valley +9. You can see how the spread covers -2 based on our point projections. It just means that you can see this is out of line, and then anything with any value, not really. Not really. Bad day. Buffalo against Toledo at -135 because Toledo's at 84%. Still, so it's the home bump that is putting Buffalo over Toledo still, but tough day. I'm not liking much of anything here. Yuck. Maybe there's some more games that'll be added tomorrow. We'll find out. Let's go over to hockey. Hockey, not a good day. Not a good day. I mean, we had Boston win this game 4-3. They lose 3-2. We had Philadelphia winning this game heavily. Yes, somebody asked me, do I incorporate injuries and people not playing because of COVID and stuff? The answer is sort of, yeah. Yeah, I have an injury report. Yeah, I pull the people that are injured out. If they're day to day, I leave them in. But if they're not day to day, I take their contribution out and I figure that into the point projection. So I'm supposed to be taking that into account. I think as I watched some of this Philly game today, it was nice because I started losing on that bet here right away. I mean, I lost. The Presbyterian game was at 5 o'clock, and as soon as I lost that, I was really like, oh, this is not going to be a good day. And then I lost both of the hockey games, and then I lost Wisconsin at 7. I was just like, oh my god, this is so funny at this point. So so when you're losing that much, all I did was watch some of this game, and then I didn't pay attention to sports and did other work the rest of the night, which is nice to not have to think about it. But this Philadelphia game, I watched some of it, and it looks like they could have won this game. They could have, the Rangers didn't look great, but it didn't happen. So that's a loser. Islanders did not look good against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh played better. Pittsburgh was Pittsburgh was shooting more. Pittsburgh was on more. So that was wrong. Here's the Columbus. This is 1-1. Elvis beats Nashville, like we said. Easy. That was the best line of the day of anybody really to win. This was all screwed up and was a huge scoring game for Toronto. St. Louis does win. We said this was going to be 3-2. It was 3-2. Or, well, we said it was going to be 4-2, I guess. It ended up being 3-2. And then LA and Arizona. LA wins. We knew this was going to be super close. That makes sense. This game's still going on right now, actually. And I forgot to add the Washington game because there wasn't any line on it earlier in the day, but we would have predicted that winner had it been on the list. Looks like Minnesota is still beating Anaheim 2-1, but this game is not over yet, so we haven't necessarily lost that yet. As for tomorrow, the 19th, is there anything cool on here? Everybody's unconfirmed right now in terms of goalie status, so you can hide the whole thing because it doesn't really matter. Just projecting some goaltenders here. Not every day is going to be bad. Is there anything we can learn from this? Carolina and Chicago. That's actually going to be a better game. I'm surprised it's given Carolina such a nod there. But it does like that. It does like Carolina, and so does Vegas. 5, I don't know what the over-under there. Florida and Detroit likes Florida heavily. 5-1. Wow, because of Grice in net. Yep, I like that. Take Florida. I like that. Grice stinks. And Edmonton and Calgary. Edmonton barely. Wow, what a close game. But Calgary's goaltending is supposed to be stronger. Is Calgary going to wake up after playing terrible against Vancouver the other night? I don't know. And then you got Holtby, supposed to lose to Winnipeg, but this goaltending matchup's getting a little better. I can see why this line is really even. This is a close game. It says that Vancouver's offense generally is not there, especially not against Hellebuck. So I like Winnipeg. I'll stick with Winnipeg. I don't think Winnipeg's going to burn me the same way that Calgary might. Calgary, I'm scared after watching them against Vancouver, and seeing this supposed to be this close makes me really want to take Edmonton, which I thought played better against Winnipeg the other night. So we'll see what I end up doing tomorrow after final goaltenders are in here, just so we make sure. And I will obviously be doing another round robin pick. I'll be doing another $94 tomorrow. I'll have less teams than 7 teams. That's for darn sure. I wanted to do one little thing before we're done here. I wanted to show you what you could do. Say, well, let's look back at college basketball for yesterday real quick. And remember how I was doing in the video yesterday, for those of you who watched the video, I said there was this spread cover number, and if our point projections, which is a formula that's projecting the scores for the home and the away teams here, if this thing's working well, then the spread cover number being positive and being a larger number is supposed to mean more, and it's supposed to mean the algorithm's doing its job and really trying to order the scores and everything properly. So here's what you would have had spread-wise descending. It's not that bad. I mean, that's 7-3 in the top 10. But let's say that we just took, is there anything I would... Oh, yeah, I would have stayed away from Bradley. Sorry. We would not have done Bradley because we knew this. So really, Bradley needs to be moved out of here, actually, because we would never have taken Bradley. But the rest of them we would have taken. That ends up being 7-2 in the top 9. But if you say just the top 7, You'd only miss 2. You go 5 and 2. And so, well, let me talk about what that would look like in here, right? So you can actually connect these two files and say, well, what if we'd taken a different 7 teams than the ones that I took? And we did just basketball, just to do some simulations. You could say, well, this was the team we would have taken, all right? And we're going to grab the top 7. And the line on all these, oh, wait a minute, that didn't work. Hold on. I want to get the dollar signs off of this formula. Actually, just call it B8, and it will work. Let me pull it down. Now it changed the teams, and every line is going to be minus 110 because we're going to do pretending that we took the team with the spread points. And how do we know whether or not the team won or lost? I think it's going to let me do this. Go here, and whether or not they covered the spread would be a win or a loss. And it's going to be F8 without the dollar signs. And you can pull this down to tell you whether or not you won or lost this game, right? So in this scenario, if we took the top 7 games, we would have gone 4 and 3. Our $94 would have turned into only $13.28. But remember, I said we never would have taken Bradley because we knew Bradley was at 46%. So we can actually remove Bradley from this list. The best way for me to do that will be, I guess, just to literally remove Bradley from this list. Team of reference, where are you, Bradley? And select all except for Bradley. How do I do this? I always screw this up. I just don't want to have Bradley. I want to have everything else. Right? No, not going to let me do it. Not going to let me do it. The other way we can do this is to open up a slicer. I know I'm rambling, but let's learn about Excel and learn how to do this. The team of reference here was Bradley that we do not want to take. They're there. I can remove them this way. So now that I've just removed them from the list, watch what happens when we go back to the round robin calculator. Bradley's now gone. It used to be right in here. Now it's gone. And now we went 6 and 2, and all of a sudden we made money today. How about that? We would have made money without Bradley with the top, when you sorted this by spread cover with the top 6 games. Doing that. And what if we had changed the way that we'd made our bets here? What if this bet strategy, because we had teams with better lines, what if we did $1 all the way down? That's going to be more than 94 bucks, but maybe we'll make this 50 cents, 50 cents. There we go. Boom. That would have been $94 also, and you would have turned it into 144 bucks and made 54% on your money had you taken all the teams in the top and the spread. So there were certainly ways to win here yesterday in college basketball. I, of course, did not do them in my bet, but we'll fix that and we'll do that better today. I mean, look at that. That's really not bad at all. 6 and 2 all around. 6 and 2 isn't bad. All right, so we will have an update with my bet tomorrow before, what time do the games start? College basketball games start at 5 p.m. apparently, and hockey games start at 7 p.m. So I will have my video up by 5 p.m. That's the cutoff, and all the emails and everything will be out by 5 p.m., but hopefully earlier than that. All right, so good luck, everybody. May all your picks be doing the best they can do.